Hello everyone, it's Craig again with a new episode, this one entitled The Uncertainty. So I don't know about you, but I'm a person who likes to plan. And so for me, the fact that I knew I was sick, and then even once I knew I had cancer, but not being able to know what the work plan was or the treatment plan was going to be was very unsettling for me. And it actually didn't settle in with me until after we had put a treatment plan together. I tended to get very anxious, and I didn't realize it at the time again, but I tended to get very anxious about not knowing what was next. So we found the tumor, we found it was cancerous. Then what's the next step? How long do you have to wait for the next test? How long do you have to wait for the next consultation? And then once you've been the diagnosis and you know what the treatment plan is, how long does it take me to get started with that treatment plan? And so one of the things that would happen to me is I would wake up in the middle of the night around 2 o'clock and my mind would just be spinning and spinning and spinning. And so I'm grateful that the company that I work for actually reimburses us for meditation apps or calming apps. And so I have subscribed to the app Calm, and what I found was very useful was I would be able to plug in my headset into listen to some of their sleep or meditation information that would help to clear my mind and help my mind to stop racing so that I would be able to relax and be able to fall back asleep and get a couple more hours of sleep. I also noticed that once we were able to get a treatment plan into place, that suddenly my appetite started to come back. And in talking with my wife, Megan, we realized that part of it was I was anxious over trying to understand what was next and when we were going to get started. But once we had a plan, I started to have some calmness around that and have the ability to gain back some of that appetite. Certainly not back to full of where it was, but certainly better than it was, and allowing me to have more consistent energy throughout the day and not feeling as bloated. So what was nice about getting the diagnosis finally was that I did get a referral to an oncologist, and his name was Dr. Machado, also with Advent Health. And this was just wonderful because once I got the referral to Dr. Machado, my gastroenterologist, Dr. Gito, had already spoken with him, and I was into Dr. Machado's office within 24 hours. And so that was really nice to be able to have movement and at a speed that was nice. And when I had the appointment with Dr. Machado, what I found was in that 24 hours between when the appointment was made and when he met with me, he not only reviewed my files, but he realized that I could be a potential candidate for a clinical study. And he reached out to the head of that clinical study. And while I was at his appointment, he got me an appointment with the head of the clinical study within another 24 hours. And I'll speak to that in an upcoming episode. But that was another wonderful, great system. And so it was just nice to finally see some progress being made and to be being made in a quick fashion. And so for my gratitude moment today, it's really a gratitude to Dr. Mitchell Machado for the way that he got me in quickly, the time and care that he took to explain to both Megan and myself kind of where we were at, how we were at stage 4 because it had spread to another part of my body, what the chemotherapy and immunotherapy would be, walking through the drugs that were going to be used and how they were going to be used and what to expect, and then giving us the heads up on the clinical study and making the effort to get us in with the head of that clinical study within 24 hours. And for that, I'm very grateful to Dr. Machado and his team for helping us to advance this and helping to erase some of that uncertainty that was creating anxiety within me and within my family. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to more updates as we continue in my journey of dealing with cancer.